How's it going? Today is 27 December, Wednesday. We are taking a look at finances, kind of, and everything what's been announced, right, to the public. There's a lot of things that are happening that not necessarily myself I have access to, or perhaps if it's not been announced officially, can we discuss that, right? I'll try to put things very briefly all together and some of the things and follow-ups, right? I'll touch briefly on of what was happening and progression. So what the timestamps or so, so they say, right? So for others to make conclusions of everything what's happening and perhaps how things are evolving as we speak. Let's begin with perhaps the biggest banks within perhaps US, and from there we're gonna progress within UK and everything what's happening here. Let's begin by acknowledging all of regulations and everything, how and government stepping in, right? Heads of Wall Street biggest banks face Senate grilling, right? That would be some of the big players there. I'm not here to promote any of those banks. So what I'm saying is, biggest banks, they had to sit down and have a chat, from what I understand, with the public, right? So I have seen it, but now for people out there, perhaps who are taking a look at everything, what's happening there. I don't know if it's good or it's bad. I'm coming into this from a business perspective. So if they need to sit down and perhaps share some information with the Senate, before then, they perhaps had a couple of meetings or so, right? Coming from business perspective, and later they had to make public announcements of what's happening, right? Uh, there was an announcement made about JP Morgan CEOs selling his shares, right? Within, so this is what happened, right? I don't know if that's perfect timestamps, but that's how I'm following the news, right? Okay, now let's take a look at what's happening within UK. An article that was published on 21st of December. UK signs first of its kind financial service agreement with Switzerland. Chans- uh, Chancellor? Okay. I'll skip names, right? Has today signed the Barney Financial Service Agreement, right? Myself, I would need to read this article either way, so I thought might as well share that information with others, right? So people would know, in particular, finances. It should be an important topic for many people out there. Myself, I know a lot of perhaps my own understanding and everything, but that can cloud everything, right? So I'm just trying to share data, right? So hard data and everything, what was happening, and perhaps putting timestamps if I can. But perhaps I'm missing a lot of information, right? I'm trying to track so many different things, what's happening in the world. I'm trying to understand all those things, right? Which can be very hard to do, I guess, unless I'm focusing just on the one thing. If I'm focusing just on the one thing, perhaps it would be a lot easier, but either way. Within this article, we're going to be taking a look at Chancellor. Let's keep names. Signs the Bernie Financial Service Agreement, a groundbreaking pact of financial service cooperation. Okay, that's the first one. We progress into the next one. That will be UK business to provide financial services to the Swiss domestic market and vice versa more easily. Okay, great. And we're progressing to a third part. That would be a Berlin Financial Service Agreement provides access to the Swiss market that no other country will have, while also providing certainty for business and upholding high standards of regulations. Okay, so they're putting a lot of things in motion, which might be important for people out there who are interested in perhaps banking all different services there. Chancellor. I'll skip name, right? Perhaps this is a great person. I don't know, right? I don't know the person. Again, has to date 21st of December signed the Bernice Financial Service Agreement, a first of its kind, pact of financial service cooperation with his Swiss counterpart. Okay. I'll skip name just in case, right? So they have signed an agreement. It was a very recent one, the beginning of the 21st, right? So 6 days ago. The agreement sets a sector where the UK and Switzerland will mutually recognize each other's domestic laws and regulations on financial services, making it easier for corporate and high net worth clients in two markets to do business with each other. Okay, great. That might be very important for many people, right? The Bernie Financial Service Agreement enables the frictionless cross-border provision of financial services between UK and Switzerland across areas such as asset management, banking, and investment services. For certain sectors, it means that firms based in UK will be able to serve clients in Switzerland while largely following UK's rules and vice versa. Great. Complete people up there trying to make things so it will be easier to do business. Great. There should be more agreements like that. I have seen how much some of those governments are spending in research and development, in particular banking. Where else would you start, right? The agreement also secures unique access to British insurance brokers to the Swiss market. From the start of 2024, Switzerland will require any non-Swiss firms to establish a base in the country before serving Swiss clients. The UK will be the only country in the world not required to do this, putting British broker firms at a significant advantage to international competitors as they can continue to do business as they always done or have done. Great. Very important part. Very, very important part. Okay. Perhaps I can do follow up how I understood it, but let's stick with all information that we have to work with, right? The Burnley Financial Service Agreement will make open access in financial service legally binding between UK and Switzerland for decades to come, while maintaining high standards of regulations, market fairness, and investor protection. Both countries will also have the freedom to revise or introduce new domestic regulations as they see fit. Okay. The agreement provides an opportunity for UK and Switzerland to work together to strengthen international financial standards. It will also help level the playing field for some smaller firms who will no longer have to invest time and money in navigating unfamiliar Swiss rules. Since we're taking a look from perhaps UK's, right? So since we're taking a look from UK's point of view, myself, if I would need to familiarize myself with everything that's happening in Switzerland, it might be very hard, right? I don't know if it is. I don't know. I think it's very common sense people over there, but perhaps it can be, right? Financial advisors will also benefit. British financial advisors to high net worth individuals will no longer need to be registered by Swiss regulatory bodies to serve Swiss clients. This will remove requirements to sit Swiss examinations or provide documentation evidence of sustainability, cutting red tape for UK's financial advisory industry. It might be a great announcement. Myself, I find a lot of value in this announcement. The quick note, right? Myself, I have seen a lot of things in the workings and how to begin and how to structure a lot of things. So I'm coming into this completely different understanding, right? But perhaps as I go along, first, perhaps the best way of doing it, I would introduce products or services in the market, and then I can expand on what that might lead to, or perhaps support and help a number of people, right? Different markets and everything. Once I introduce those, perhaps I can discuss more detail. Perhaps that would be the best way of approaching this. Uh, the Berne Financial Service Agreement is only possible due to new freedoms granted to the case following the exit of the European Union. The agreement will enhance UK and Switzerland's already thriving financial services relationship. Between 2016 and 2022, UK trade in financial and insurance services with Switzerland grew by 53%. That's massive, reaching 3.28 billion in that's what I thought. 2022. Myself, there's a questionable things were happening within this area. By the way, a lot of questionable things were happening. But either way, let's progress. The UK financial services sector is a significant contributor to the domestic economy and was valued at approximately 254 billion in the fourth quarter to 2023. In 2020, around 40% of financial services to Switzerland were exported from UK region outside of London and Southeast, and 2 out of the 3 jobs in financial services are based outside of London, which can be very expensive to operate from, right? That's how I understood it. In London, right? To have a professional sit down for you with an hour, we're looking at anywhere from 300 to 500 pounds an hour, right? So that would be London. Someone needs to pay for those skyscrapers, right? So perhaps that would be partly why, but not necessarily limited to that, right? This means that the benefits of the Barney Financial Services Agreement will be felt across the UK, bolstering jobs and growing the UK's economy. I think it will benefit, again, I think both countries, right? They have more integrity in regards to how all the laws and everything would be regulated, and perhaps it could support both economies. And some of the research and development that Switzerland is, how much money is spending there, and all some of the services that they're looking to offer when it comes to financial services, right? That could benefit everyone involved. Separate to the Bernese Financial Service Agreement, the UK is also currently negotiating and enhancing free trade agreements with Switzerland that will boost ties and cover the full range of trade between the two countries. Okay. So, if you're interested in learning more about very fundamental areas, some of those areas could be how to set targets, how to structure your goals, how to work towards your goals. Very important areas, and or since we're on topic of finance, would be a budget and how where to begin when structuring your personal budget. Many people would start with that and progress from there, perhaps professionals budgets, right? And how do you structure those and manage number of projects, right? But everyone would need to start with their own, perhaps, and from there progress into a number of those. So I just named a few of those in total. 12 areas I'm looking to cover within this course, as well as share this course with as many people as I can. If you have any questions, if you'd like to learn more about this course and or similar things I'm helping people to achieve, you can reach out to me, or there's going to be a QR code in the corner or company's website below. Myself, I see everything what's happening there is slightly different, right? But again, I'm taking part in some of those projects within UK and making it easier to structure some of those projects, as well as perhaps know-how. There might be ways of collaborating and working with Switzerland. I have reached out to Switzerland a number of times. Hopefully, there's going to be some response, and perhaps I need to do it once more. And some of those. Not necessarily the reason why I was reaching out for. Perhaps there would be more reasons right now than I see it. Perhaps opening up some of those markets there. There might be some opportunities there. So I'll see if I could do anything, right? But again, this is the time where we are right now, right? So there's a massive opportunity there for many people who are interested, right? Who are looking for opportunities. Either way, thanks for watching. I'll see you next one.